Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe for Efo Riro. Efo Riro basically translates to, in plain English, stir-fry veg, but in this recipe, the stir-fry veg is spinach. Efo Riro is something that I personally love, and it's one of those stews that I love going to because it's very quick to make. Everything that you can just chuck things in and it's pretty much, all system go. I am particular about my Efo Riro though. I think if you're gonna make Efo, like if I detest seeing watery Efo Riro and Efo Riro that is not green. It has to have the greenness and the crunchiness. So stay tuned and we'll see. Okay, so for my Efo Riro, the core ingredients are, and these are the things I use. So I start with bell pepper, aka capsicum, aka tasashi. I don't use any tomato in it personally. Like I said, I don't like watery Efo Riro, and that's just the main reason. If I'm making a bigger batch, I might put a bit of plum tomato in, just because, to cut down on cost. But generally, bell pepper, yellow onion, rodo. I've got here, this is my go-to, this is ginger and garlic cubes. So I buy these already, and they're just amazing because it just saves me great in it. I've got assorted meats. I've got beef, smoked turkey, shaki. I've got here one of the core ingredients I personally think is iru, locust beans. So it doesn't smell very nice, but I promise you in your Efo, this is odumen. Then I've got this, which I'm sure not everyone's going to be keen on, but this actually brings me back to my childhood. These are the small snails that my grandma, I remember I'd take, like, she'd make Efo Riro or ogbono or something like that, and as you're eating one okele, you just get one of these small small snails in there. So this is going to go in today. I've got smoked catfish. Yes, I've just pre-washed that and soaked it. I've got this is a fresh spinach. Unfortunately for us, spinach is very expensive. So if you wouldn't believe, this is £5 worth of spinach and it's that small, and I haven't even soaked it yet. So as a way to cut down on cost, I also use frozen spinach as well. Just like I said, it's really expensive. And of course, I use palm oil in my Efo Riro. You don't have to, but for me, just for that local taste and authentic Efo Riro, I personally like to use spinach. And as I do the video recording, I'll show you the seasoning I use. But the seasonings that I personally use are pretty much the same. Is curry powder, seasoning cubes, and salt. And of course, let's not forget crayfish. This is a must. It makes the worlds of difference. So stay tuned and I'll take you through the steps of how to make the dish. Right, so I've got in here 10 bell pepper, 2 white onion and 4 rodo, and 2 cubes of ginger and garlic, which equates to 20 grams of ginger and garlic. So I'm going to chop these up roughly and blend them in my food processor. So as you can see, I've got quite a good amount, not too much liquid. So we've got our pot and I'm about to put palm oil in. Unfortunately, I won't have precise measurement, but I'll say a good chunk of palm oil. I'll probably say a cup and a half. Oh, this is going to start smoking. So work pretty quick. So it doesn't need to heat up too hot because it's going to fry anyway. I'm going to add in my pepper mix that I blended earlier in my food processor. So while I was recording, and this is why I always say there is no rule in the kitchen. Normally, 9 out of 10, I'd always put the iru inside first to let it fry in the oil. But today, I forgot, and it's fine because once this is fried, I'm going to add the iru inside. Right, as you can see, so this is quite thick, but it still has a lot of water. So in essence, what I want this to do is I want it to fry until the oil comes back up. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the iru now anyway. It looks a lot, but I promise you, I'm just one of those people. Me, I love iru in food, especially in something like Efo Riro. Like I need to see it in chunks. Don't be shy with your iru. If you don't like it, you can remove this from your dish if you decide to recreate this. But for me, It's a must. It's a must. It's a must. So I'm going to pretty much leave this until most of the water is evaporated and the oil comes to surface, and that's when I know it's fried. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it to do its thing. So this has been on for about 10 minutes. It's all right. You can't see the oil. It hasn't risen to the top, but that's fine. With the more the liquid reduces, the more we fry. So now I'm going to add all my bits. I'm going to add my dried, I don't know what they call this in English, the small ones, or even Yoruba stuff. But anyway, I put those in because the ones I've used, they're fried. A dear friend of mine got these for me from Nigeria, so thank you very much appreciated. I'm putting in my beef. I've grilled these, and the reason I personally grill them is because I like the liquid from wherever I'm cooking with it to sort of soak in, so it'll be softer again. So beef is going in. Got shaki as well. So the smoked turkey is actually not going to go in until much later, because turkey, it gets soft quite quickly and it can break up, so we're not going to put that in. I'm going to put in my smoked fish, all of it. My mum used to actually, although she jokes about it, but she meant it. She was like, you like to cook onje onigbesi, meaning that I cook food that's basically for people that are in debt, because she's like, the stuff I use, I don't compromise. And as you can see, I certainly don't. I think if you're gonna make something, just enjoy it, let it be nice and rich. You only live once, so why have rations? My husband always says, don't ration my food, don't ration my food. So I'm gonna add curry powder. Not too much. Oh gosh, that's a bit more than I wanted. Salt, bit of salt, and if you heard from my previous videos, even when I use seasoning cubes, I still always use a little bit of salt, just because I feel like you need the salt to bring it kind of brings it all together. So I'm going to put some of these seasoning cubes inside, and then I'm adding my crayfish in. So I actually prefer the much lighter one, but unfortunately I didn't have those ones, so this will have to do. So that's that one. So I'm going to mix it all together. I'm going to have a taste. And like I always say, that's the main thing, is you've got to just adjust everything to your own personal preference. Yeah. So I've mixed all the seasonings together. I've had a taste. I'm happy with the flavour. So I'm going to just cover this now with a lid. And really, like I said, I want it to fry down a bit more. And then once all that's fried down, I'll put the smoked turkey in, add the spinach, and we're done. So I've mixed everything. I'm happy with the taste. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up to let the liquid evaporate a bit more and fry more. And then I'm going to go and prep the spinach to put inside. So I'm just going to put some water, hot water. So I've added the hot water. So what I do is I mix it around, but I don't leave it in too long, because in essence, what I want to do is I want a lot of the liquid to come out, but I don't want it to be mushy, because it's still going to go into something hot. So this has been in here for about a minute. So I'm going to empty it out now, and then I'm going to run cold water in it to stop the steam from continuing to wilt it. So as you can see, this is what I was saying, that when it's fried, the oil comes to the top. So I'm now going to add the smoked turkey. So this won't take long at all for it to sort of get soft. I'll leave this for a couple of minutes with the smoked turkey inside. So pretty much now everything is in. It's going to fry a couple more minutes so the smoked turkey can take on some of this liquid, and we'll add the spinach and we're done. So this is the spinach that I bought whole, chopped up, and I washed and poured hot water over to take out a lot of the excess water. And this is actually the frozen spinach, which I washed again. I always wash it just because, well, in case there's any stains or anything. But yeah, so I'm going to put this now into there. So as you can see, so this has been frying for what is more than ready. But you can see the oil has come to the top, and now we pretty much add the spinach and So I'm actually going to turn the cooker off because at this point the heat from the sauce is enough for the spinach. So I'm going to turn it off because, like I said, what you don't want is soggy Efo Riro, or Efo Riro that's just watery. As you can see, everything is nice and green. It's got beautiful colors. It's still rich. See, rich. So as you can see, we've still got the red, sort of like the rich, bright red, and then you've got the spinach. But it's not so dry that you can't choose to have this with stew. You can still have it with stew. You can still have it with pando, or you can just have it by itself. And yeah, this is my take on Efo Riro with a bit of everything, or as my mum would call it, obe onigbesi, because like I said, I like to put a bit of everything inside.